Pocket English Podcast
from your pocket. You're pouring coffee in the break room. A coworker walks in and casually asks, "What did you get up to this weekend?"
And your mind completely freezes. I used to hate that feeling so much. I would stand there in awkward silence feeling so embarrassed, just trying to build the perfect sentence in my head before I opened my mouth.
It really is the worst. But the good news is, it is absolutely possible to stop translating word for word.
Exactly. You do not need perfect grammar. You just need a few simple conversational chunks to buy time and stay completely relaxed in the moment.
The best chunk to start with is incredibly simple. You just say, "Nothing crazy, just relaxed at home."
That phrase is an absolute lifesaver. When a coworker catches you off guard, your brain immediately wants to panic and perfectly translate everything you did on Saturday.
And that is exactly when you go completely blank. You try to explain a long, complicated story about going to the grocery store, and suddenly you are completely lost in your own sentence.
The other person starts looking confused. The silence gets heavy, and you just want to run away. But if you use our simple chunk, you stop that panic instantly.
Let's practice it together right now.
When Emma asks the question, I want you to say out loud, "Nothing crazy, just relaxed at home." Ready?
Hey, what did you get up to this weekend?
Now it's your turn. Say out loud, "Nothing crazy, just relaxed at home."
Perfect. That easy sentence buys you 3 seconds to breathe and takes the pressure off. But what happens next?
Exactly. You can't just stand there smiling or walk away. You need to follow up with a little more detail.
And the easiest way to do that is to talk about how your weekend finished, without telling a massive story.
That is where a brilliant little grammar trick comes in. Have you ever tried using the phrase, "ended up"?
I use it constantly. It completely saves you from what I like to call the translation trap.
Oh, I know that trap entirely too well. Even after you buy those first few seconds, your brain might still try to translate a massive, complex story from your native language into English.
You want to give a really good, detailed answer. But instead of just speaking naturally, your brain experiences a total system overload.
Exactly. I remember trying to explain this long, intricate story about my car breaking down over the weekend. I was searching for the absolute perfect vocabulary word, and I just froze.
Then comes that dreadful, awkward silence again.
Right. I stood there staring at my coffee mug, feeling like I had forgotten every single English word I ever learned in my life.
It happens to everyone, and it is so incredibly important to realize this is not a lack of English ability. Your brain is simply experiencing a system overload from trying to do too much at once.
You cannot translate a big, complicated paragraph on the spot like that. The goal here is just to participate in the casual conversation, not to give a formal presentation.
Which is why you need a totally different approach to stop the freeze. We call it the chunk-first system.
Like we did with our first phrase, instead of building a sentence from scratch, you rely on a short, pre-built filler phrase to do the heavy lifting.
A conversational chunk immediately satisfies the social interaction. It gives an answer, but far more importantly, it buys you time.
It gives your brain those vital 2 or 3 seconds to pivot right into English mode without any awkward silence.
And that brings us right back to our grammar trick. The phrase, "ended up," is another perfect conversational chunk to use right here.
You just pair the words "ended up" with an action verb ending in ing.
Let us hear it in action. Jack, what did you get up to this weekend?
Ended up just watching a movie. What about you?
Ended up just catching up on sleep.
Did you catch that? We did not try to build the perfect sentence, and we avoided long stories entirely.
We simply used our chunk. Ended up plus the word just plus an ing verb.
It perfectly summarizes past events. Now it is your turn to try it out loud.
I will ask the question, and I want you to answer with, "Ended up just watching a movie." Ready? What did you get up to this weekend?
Ended up just watching a movie.
Great job! Now let us try the second one. Say out loud, "Ended up just catching up on sleep." Here we go. What did you get up to this weekend?
Ended up just catching up on sleep.
Perfect! By leading with a chunk, you stay relaxed and keep the conversation moving smoothly.
And that smooth movement is exactly what we want. But let us be honest, even with these tools, sometimes Monday morning questions still catch you completely off guard.
It happens to everyone. You are just grabbing your morning coffee, your boss walks in unexpectedly, and suddenly your mind can completely go blank all over again.
Yes, going blank in front of your boss is the absolute worst feeling. I used to dread the break room for exactly that reason. You stand there searching for the perfect English vocabulary word while the silence just gets heavier and heavier.
That is exactly why having the chunk first system is so powerful in real life situations. It gives you a built in automatic response to simply buy time when you need it most.
Right. Buying time means you are speaking immediately. That stops the awkward silence and lets your brain catch up without panicking over the grammar.
Exactly. And sometimes you do not even have a specific activity like watching a movie to talk about,
Very true. Sometimes your weekend was completely uneventful and you did absolutely nothing special at all.
which is totally fine. That is when we bring back that very first phrase we practiced earlier. Instead of trying to explain that you stayed inside all weekend, you can simply fall back on, nothing crazy, just relaxed at home.
Let us look a bit more closely at why that one works so wonderfully as a fallback. Nothing crazy, just relaxed at home.
It is brilliant because it directly answers the question, sets a very friendly tone, and requires zero complicated storytelling on your part.
It completely removes all of the pressure. If a colleague asks what you got up to, you drop this phrase and the social interaction is an instant success.
I love how natural it sounds too. It is exactly how native speakers handle those uneventful weekends.
Let us help our listeners build a bit more muscle memory with it right now so they do not freeze on Monday.
Good idea. I will ask the question, and I want you to say the answer out loud. Your phrase is, nothing crazy, just relaxed at home.
Ready? Speak up.
Hey, what did you get up to this weekend?
Nothing crazy, just relaxed at home.
Beautiful. Let us do it one more time so it feels totally automatic. Say it out loud. Hey, what did you get up to this weekend?
Nothing crazy, just relaxed at home.
Great job. Notice how your voice naturally drops at the end of the phrase.
Yes, that falling intonation shows you are relaxed and confident in what you are saying.
Let us try another variation of this. What if you just cleaned the house, did laundry, and went grocery shopping?
You do not need to list all of those things. You can use the exact same chunk structure. Nothing crazy, just did some chores.
That is so much better than trying to mentally translate the word for vacuuming or doing the dishes while your colleague stares at you waiting.
Exactly. Let us practice that new variation together. I will ask the question, and I want you to say, nothing crazy, just did some chores.
Here we go. Say it out loud right now.
What did you get up to this weekend?
Nothing crazy, just did some chores.
Perfect. You are using the chunk to buy time and stay completely in English mode.
And remember, the goal here is not to give a detailed, perfectly accurate report of your entire weekend timeline.
Not at all. The goal is to connect socially without letting your mind go blank and panicking over grammar.
So we have two very strong tools now. You can use, ended up just watching a movie, or you can use, nothing crazy, just relaxed at home.
Both of these completely bypass the translation trap we talked about earlier. They catch the ball and throw it right back smoothly.
They do. But what if you actually want to ask the other person about their weekend to keep things moving?
Turning the question around is the real secret to surviving small talk. It takes the spotlight entirely off of you and gives you a break.
It really is. Once you buy time with your chunk, you want to easily pass the conversation back over to them.
But people often freeze up right there too. They worry about using the correct grammar to form a natural follow-up question.
Which is exactly why we need another simple, memorized chunk for asking the question back to them.
And that is exactly what we are going to cover in our very next episode. We will give you the perfect follow-up phrases to keep the conversation going smoothly.
First, though, I want to make sure these initial answers are truly locked into your memory before we finish today.
Let us do a rapid-fire practice round. I will be the coworker, and I will ask you the question twice.
For the first one, answer out loud with, ended up just watching a movie.
Here we go. Speak up. Hey, what did you get up to this weekend?
Ended up just watching a movie.
Excellent. Now for the second one, tell me, nothing crazy, just relaxed at home.
Get ready. Speak out loud.
Hey, what did you get up to this weekend?
Nothing crazy, just relaxed at home.
Fantastic work. You are already sounding more natural, and your brain has a safe place to go when the questions start.
Exactly. So the next time your coworker catches you off guard on a Monday morning, you won't go blank.
You now have your safe answers ready. You can say, ended up just watching a movie.
Or you can use, nothing crazy, just relaxed at home.
I remember how stressful it was to freeze up and panic. Knowing exactly how to buy time takes all that pressure off.
Now we want to hear from you. What is one English chunk you are going to use the next time someone asks about your weekend?
Write it below to lock it in your memory. Type your answer, and let's support each other in the comments.
You have the first answer ready, but what happens next?
That's where our next lesson comes in. Listen to our episode on how to keep a conversation going once you've answered the first question to build on today's skills.
You are more confident and prepared than you think. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.